Here we go. If a music artist does not take their fitness seriously in terms of trying to develop a good physique, how can that hold their brand back? 2, what are some specific...
Let me answer the first question. So, if a music artist do not take their physique seriously, in terms of trying to get to the next level, then they are not going to separate themselves from the pack. They are going to get overlooked because, as I mentioned before, there are so many music artists getting born every single day, and everybody want to be a music artist. Everybody want to make music. So in order to separate yourself from the pack, yes, it's going to take talent, but if you can separate yourself from like how you look, you can definitely lower the percentage of a competition. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to give the other artists competition anxiety because your physique is on point, and then your music is on point, and then your marketing is on point. So the physique is going to make the marketing and the music stand out even further. So, and I get it because, fitness is definitely hard to do. Especially if you're going from skinny to ripped. If you want to go from skinny to 50 Cent in his prime or LL Cool J, to look like that is going to take some work. However, your brand is going to stand out. That's why 50 Cent and LL Cool J stood out so much. Yes, they had talent, but their physique, it kind of like was the icing on the cake. It made the marketing even greater and stronger. They look more like an icon. People remember that. Dang, that's LL Cool J. He all, he look all ripped up. People remember that. So when you take your fitness seriously, people automatically going to assume that that you take your brand seriously. So what people especially if we're talking about rappers, what rappers gotta realize is that, you can have the brand of like smoking weed and gangbanging or whatever like that, but you're giving yourself a disadvantage if you look just like a regular guy. However, if you're ripped and shredded to a certain extent, even if you're talking crazy in your songs, to a certain extent, people are going to take you even more seriously than the other street rappers because you just look like, okay, so he's at least taking his health seriously. And that's how you're going to venture off into the other lanes, or that's how you're going to broaden up your audience. Because you might have, if you're talking about a lot of street stuff in your songs, since your physique is on point, because your physique is on point, you're going to venture off, you're going to cross over to people that love fitness because they're going to be able to relate to you on that aspect versus like the lyrics that you're speaking. So I highly recommend, if an artist is trying to take their business to the next level or their brand, to really prioritize having a physique. Even to the artists that's not even I'm not even talking about gangster rappers, but even just regular artists, music artists, country singers, pop artists. If you take your physique seriously, you're going to ultimately separate yourself from the pack. And that's the question I keep getting asked. Like, how can I separate myself? Yeah, if you take your physique seriously, you could definitely separate yourself because it's a hard thing to do.
That was a fantastic answer. It really covers the importance of standing out and how fitness can enhance an artist's overall brand. All right, let's build on that with the next questions. 2, what are some practical steps that music artists can take to improve their physique and overall health? 3, how does having...
I would say, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Kelly, but I would say if they're trying to lose weight, right? If they're trying to, shred down, I would say, tracking your calories, knowing your macros that you taking in every day. You in the studio, of course, you're around people that's drinking Hennessy or just drinking liquor. Of course, you're around people that's smoking weed. However, if you're drinking liquor, right? Track how many times, or basically keep track of how many cups of alcohol you're taking in. Because each cup is calories. That could be, 150 to 300 calories you're taking in. So you want to make sure that you know that. Because if you're eating right the whole day, and then, of course, you go to the studio, and then you get a couple drinks, you might be hitting your calorie go if you know your numbers. But if you don't know your numbers, then you could be eating a calorie surplus, which can ultimately make you gain more weight, and you're trying to lose that gut. However, now if you're talking about, now if we're going from like, now if you're a skinny artist trying to go from skinny to ripped, you for sure will have to eat in a calorie surplus. So knowing your numbers is going to benefit you as well. What I notice about a lot of skinny rappers is that they like to smoke a lot. So if you like to smoke a lot and you're not eating right, then you're eating in a calorie deficit, which is going to keep you at the weight, keep you at the size that you're at. So what you got to do is stop. Y'all got to definitely stop smoking a lot, or at least like lower the times of smoking. A lot of y'all are smoking like 5-10 times a day. That's gonna be very hard for you to gain weight. Now I get it, like some of y'all get the munchies, but y'all still not tracking, because you can be still eating a calorie deficit, or it's not a consistent amount of calorie intake that you're taking in. So artists can for sure prioritize, both artists, a fat artist or a skinny artist, can prioritize in protein intake. Protein intake is going to help fight against the fat. It's going to help shrink that fat, and then of course you're going to start losing weight, especially if you incorporate HIIT exercises, especially like burpees. Burpees is perfect. You know what I mean? Burpees is perfect. Now for a skinny artist, definitely prioritizing protein, because that's going to help you get to the gains, you know. So I would encourage having a protein-based diet and incorporating strength training, progressive overload to gain muscle. And then for, you know, artists that's trying to lose weight, 100% incorporate HIIT exercises, and then tracking your calories and macros, and make sure you're eating in a calorie deficit.
That's some solid advice. You've really broken it down well for both sides of the spectrum, whether it's gaining muscle or losing fat. All right, let's keep going with the next questions. 3, how does having a fit physique impact an artist's confidence and performance, both on and off stage? 4, in what ways
Okay, so let me say this. Let me answer the third one. So off rip, if you're working out all the time, you're gonna have, you can perform way longer on the stage. You know, say if you got called and it was like, yo, we need you to perform 10, 12 songs tonight. Can you do it? If you're not in shape, if your endurance is not where it's at, you're not going to be able to do it, and you're going to miss out on money and opportunity to get signed if you want to get signed or just make some money. You're going to miss out on bigger opportunities. If your physique not on point, if you're not in shape, brands are not going to want to reach out to you. And say if you in shape, brands are going to definitely want to reach out to you. So you're doing yourself a disadvantage if you're not taking your physique more seriously. Like, you're holding yourself back. But overall, your performance, like even shooting music videos, you're going to be able to move, you know what I'm saying, a lot more faster. You're going to be able to do a lot more takes. You're going to have a lot more energy. You know what I mean? Like, how can your music videos not look better? How can you're going to have way more energy. You're going to start repeating the lyrics more aggressively, more fluently. You're going to be more in sync with the music video, with the videographer. Like, y'all going to be able to do way more takes, and with way more takes, the music video is going to turn out way better. Now, say if you're on stage, your stage presence is going to be more alive. You're going to be able to do more. I mean, look at Beyonce. Beyonce definitely trained. That's why her performances are outstanding. So you got to ask yourself this, artist. Do you want to leave an outstanding performance or just a mediocre performance? A lot of y'all want to be known as one of the greats. Y'all want to be Michael Jackson level. Y'all want to be 50 Cent level. But y'all got to work towards that. So I highly recommend y'all place a safe bet and let me train you, because I'm going to get you all the way together.
Absolutely. That was a great point about performance and endurance. Really shows how fitness can directly impact an artist's career and opportunities. All right, let's wrap up with the final question. 4, in what ways can a strong online community help music artists grow their brand and stay motivated?
Can you repeat the question again? I couldn't really hear you.
The question was, in what ways can a strong online community help music artists grow their brand and stay motivated?
So a strong online community could definitely help an artist stay motivated and grow their brand. Because for one, it's straight positivity. You know, every time my artist dropping music, they in the gym or doing something that's positive, since you're getting that positive support from the community, it's going to encourage you to go stronger and harder every time. So that's very important, because in this world, you know, it's bad news. We get bad news every day. Like, most of our thoughts are bad. That's what they say in research and you know, research articles. Most of the thoughts that come to our mind are bad. So when you have a supportive community, you're going to get that constant push. And that's why when I talk to these artists, I tell them all the time, like, so I have a community for my fitness to help you stay encouraged with the fitness, and then I have a community for, you know, for your posts when you're trying to increase your Instagram, grow your Instagram. I have a community, or I'm involved in a community that basically every time you drop content, you're going to get support coming in from the community, 10, 20, 100, 150, 200 comments coming in, and that's going to ultimately motivate you to keep pushing for music, keep dropping music, keep dropping content. So that community, and two, you learn from the community. You can learn how to, you know, execute in different marketing tactics. You can learn how to do different things. Like, it's just a learning community. So how can you not grow? How can an artist not grow if they're not tapped into a community? It's straight positive and it's straight educational. So I highly recommend artists get involved in the community, or just hit me up, and I'm ultimately help you out with your physique game, and I'm gonna help you out in terms of networking.
That's an awesome answer. The positivity and support from a community can definitely keep artists motivated and growing. Plus, the learning aspect is a huge bonus. Thanks for sharing all that insight. This is going to make for a fantastic video.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, Kelly, for interviewing me in Beverly Hills. But so if artists, listen up. If you're trying to take your physique way more seriously, if you're trying to have a brand that stands out, I'm talking about stands out like 50 Cent and LL Cool J in his prime. If you're trying to get ripped, shredded, lose weight, or if you're trying to go from skinny to ripped, definitely contact me, man, because I can for sure help you out with your physique. I'm in the gym all the time. I got meal guides, workout routines for music artists to help them reach their high fatigue, that godlike form that they've been dreaming about. So just imagine if you was on stage and you had a godlike presence. Your physique was on point, and then your music is going crazy. How can your brand not go to the next level? Because you're separating yourself from the pack immediately. Now, a lot of y'all might not still take your health or your fitness seriously. I get it. But you got to ask yourself this. What are you doing now to separate yourself from the pack? A lot of artists are doing the same thing like another artist. They look the same way. So you got to ask yourself this. Do you really want to take your craft seriously? Do you really want to get to the next level? Because y'all got a little timeline block. You can't wait forever to start, thinking about, I'm trying to be a major artist. You got to start attacking now. And the thing that you would get when you prioritize fitness is that when you're consistent with fitness, it trickles into other aspects or other areas of your life and your career. So when you're consistent with fitness, you're going to start being consistent in everything that you do, dropping, posting on content, networking, marketing, everything. So fitness is going to ultimately be the blueprint and the engine to your success. So if y'all want to take your physique to the next level, definitely contact me. Comment safe bet, but in the comments, and then I'm gonna reach out to you, and then we can talk about your fitness goals and how I can help you out. I'm gonna catch y'all next time. I know that was an awkward pause. I thought Kelly had something else to say to add to it, but I guess not. I guess she's tired. But I'm out here in Beverly Hills, man. You already know it's a safe bet. Let's get it. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button too. And I'm out.